The Packers have played their 4 quarters. Now it's time for the 5th quarter.
Erin Jones, my goodness, 3 weeks removed from the MCL sprain against the Bears, entered for just his second snap of the game and got his very first carry. A walk-off 20-yard touchdown run.
It's not hard at all, even if you understand the blocking scheme and how they've been playing it. I got to watch Jamal run the ball all day, so I understood how they were fitting the runs.
Just come out for a break on that play?
Oh, yeah, he just came off of a break, and it just went well for me.
Yeah, worked out really well for
you.
you.
Yeah, he was only in on 2 snaps, right?
2 snaps, one in the first half, and just really didn't do anything. And the second half, got the carry, and bang, busted it around the left end for that touchdown run and the game winner. And, well, Jamal Williams had reason to be pooped, to tell you the truth. He caught that little swing pass for 12 that got it to the 20, right, and then took himself out. But this after carrying the ball 21 times for a career-high $113.
It helps the offense a lot. I think it takes pressure off of Brett, and, just let him know he don't got to do it all by himself, to let him know that, we're here to help him. We're here to make sure that, to make his job easier a little bit more, So running the ball, as long as we get 4 or 5 each time, we're in good shape.
4 or 5. How about 6.9 a carry for the Packers against Tampa's defense
Even
yesterday?
4 or 5, that's getting greedy, but we'll take it, I'm sure.
6.9 a carry.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was. And, again, 199 yards rushing as a team. Every yard was needed because Brett Hundley could manage but 84 through the air, but it was enough for the W.
Yeah, at least want to get to 100. But at the same time, nothing's perfect. And I'm going out there and I'm trying to give it my best. I can't expect to throw for 300 or 400 yards every game. I can't. That's the way the league is. That's the way football is. It takes a while to get to that point. It takes a while to build that consistent level of play. I just have to keep my head down and just keep playing throughout all this stuff. We got to win today. Honestly, I could throw. I'd be fine throwing for 87 yards when we win them all. I promise you that I would be perfectly fine.
Well, I don't know if the offensive coaching staff would be with that.
But really, it's only in the regular season where we want style points in a win, right? If they win that game in the first round of the playoffs, who cares? You move on to the next round.
And really, I'm not big on style points either.
The win is the thing.
It is the thing, and it's his second and his first at home after struggling mightily against the Saints. Little okay against the Lions and the disaster against the Ravens. Well, the offense needed the help, and they got it in the second quarter. Special teams and defense. Down 7-3. Hundley threw that bad pick down the middle, but the defense got a 3-and-out straight away. And then Kyler Fackrell poured in to block Brian Anger's punt.
Yeah, it was really, we just ran a little pick stunt on the center, and Joe got to his hit perfectly, and nobody even touched me.
Nobody touched him. Yeah, Joe Thomas was the guy who chipped the center, the long snapper. Fackrell had a wide open lane. But you know what? The NFL doesn't even consider it a block punt.
Right.
The ball actually moved to the line of scrimmage where Jermaine Whitehead covered it up. So it was a 0 yardage punt, 0 return, no block. But it's a block.
And what a waste of a great last name on a punter.
Brian Anger?
Anger should be a linebacker's name.
Yeah,
no?
That's true. That's true, but
the guy's a punter, and he's got the best name in football.
It's like Stonebreaker,
it's a
right?
waste.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
but
Anger was angry after Fackrell's big play, and that led to the 1-yard Jamal Williams touchdown for the lead. And 3 minutes later, Kenny Clark sacked Jameis Winston. That was his first career sack as a defensive tackle. I do believe, yes.
Welcome back,
and
Kenny.
The ball popped into the air. Dean Lowry grabbed it, spun around, and rumbled 62 for the score.
It was a play-action play, and then Kenny sacked him pretty quick, so the ball popped out pretty quickly, and I saw it, and I saw some blockers to the side of me. I just ran, so I just tried to get there as fast as I could, and I got there, and then did the Lambeau leap, so it was a pretty special play. Mostly just adrenaline, though. I don't remember it much, honestly.
I was worried that if he would have did one more spin, trying to get loose from the mess, he would have pulled a Jim Marshall and headed the other way.
Oh, yeah.
But no. He knew which way to go. And
just sheer confusion.
I know, but just chugging along. It was funny to see.
He went to Northwestern. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, I think he realized that.
He knows
17-7 at that point. But, hey, the Bucs didn't quit. They put up 395 yards. They controlled the clock for over 37 minutes. And Winston found a lot of yards with the screen door still wide open against that Packer defense. Here's Blake Martinez.
Yeah, I think it's just our understanding as a whole, just where our help is, and kind of each of us reading it at the same time, or if someone does see it, calling it out. And because at that point, it doesn't doesn't turn to a one-on-one tackle. It turns on to a 3-on-1. And it allows you to kind of shoot your gun and maybe make the guy stutter or move his feet, and then the next guy's getting him down right after that.
It's a problem.
Yes.
And it's more of a problem, not so much the bubble screens to the wide receivers, because there are at least numbers and defensive backs out there, but when they split the running back out wide. And the other problem, I just left the stadium and visited with the coordinators and Mike McCarthy late this afternoon, and Dom Capers was saying, it's difficult because the ball is coming out so quick, and the help that is needed from basically the defensive line and inside linebackers, they're charging to the quarterback. They've got to plant and break to the outside, and it just is happening too fast. But thankfully that pass rush was there. Wow, with a vengeance. 7 sacks. Clay Matthews at 2.5.
I mean, I felt good. Coming off a muscle strain, there's always a little hesitancy to really cut it loose, especially as a pass rusher, just fighting with guys who are 300 plus pounds and burning corners and everything. But it felt good. I was able to do a lot of things, that I wanted to.
Yeah, got after it. One was unblocked, clean.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Took Winston's head off.
Yeah.
Another one of the sack. Lowry came clean again on a little twist inside against a really patched up offensive line. They were missing 2 starters and they were shuffling guys all over the place. But the pressure was back, which was nice to see. And the big receiver targets that I was worried about going into this game, Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson, they were held in check. Jackson had 2 catches, both in the first half. Evans, 2 catches, both in the second half, and neither one went over 35 yards combined, I don't believe. I can double-check that in a minute.
I'll be honest, I forgot that Deshaun Jackson was even on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I still think he's a scary guy. Evans
he can be.
2 for 33. Jackson, 2 for 24. That's a job well done. Here's Demarius Randall.
Yeah, House covered Evans, and I covered Jackson. Our staff thought we matched up well against them, and we answered the bell.
I think they did answer the bell.
They did a really nice job on those
They
two.
liked Randall's quicks on the quick Jackson. They liked Davon's House on the big Evans, and it paid off. Although it left a tight end open for a couple. Cameron Brate, catching both of those touchdown passes from Winston. And Tampa Bay head coach Dirk Koetter said, save the one mistake. He thought Jameis played pretty well.
In a perfect world, he would have got that ball out of his hands more, but they were on him quick, and we got to remember he's 23 years old, and experience is still the best teacher.
What a great line, and it certainly applies to the 24-year-old Brett Hundley, doesn't it? Experience is the best teacher. Hope he learned his lesson well, and the Packer offense as well. But Mike McCarthy's boys did find a way.
Well, I would definitely classify that as a grinded-out victory. When we needed, we had to have today. I think it speaks volumes about the character of our football team. Had some rough moments, but they just kept fighting defensively with a huge turnover. Touchdown return there with Dean Lowry. Block punt on special teams. We were up and down on offense, but when we needed it there, the last 2 drives there in the fourth quarter and in overtime, to get the 10 points. So. Very proud of our guys.
All right, well, he should be. 6 up, 6 down, 4 to go.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, there's a chance. They have 4 to play.
They're there.
That means they have opportunities to win 4 more.
You've got an absolutely awful Cleveland Browns team next.
That scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, but they are just so bad.
Here's why. Rodgers is back. He's off IR. Practice Saturday. Looked great. He's going to continue to practice this week. He's on the trial return, as they're putting it. So he really isn't going to do much first-team work. He's going to run the – he'll be Deshaun Kaiser this week at practice. But he is practicing. He can be activated right in front of the Carolina Panther game. Right. You got that in front of him. You wonder if guys are going to think about, when Aaron's back, it's 0-12. Cleveland, forget about it. Scary game.
You definitely don't want to underestimate the Browns. But outside of Josh Gordon – where is the threat?
I don't know.
If the defense is going to have a great game, this is the team to do it against.
They make plays. It's not like they just get blown out 70-0.
Yeah.
They gave the Chargers a battle in L.A. on the soccer pitch yesterday and lost 19-10. So, they'll be favored. They better win this game. How would you hate to have the dream die in Cleveland?
And I guess Cleveland will look at this as, every week now is the Super Bowl because they don't want to be an 0-16 team. So they're going to sell out every single week and throw things at you maybe they normally wouldn't. But you better beat this team.
You better beat that team. There's no question about it. Packers do beat the Buccaneers. Well, then they beat the Bears. I mean, that's their 2 wins since Rodgers went down.
Yeah.
Hardly,
Not great
ringing
teams.
endorsements.
Not great teams.
So it will get tougher. But they got some help. Panthers lost to the Saints. Right. That helps. They have a game with Carolina in 2 weeks. They're still 2 up, so they need to lose another one. Lions lost. They're 6-6.
Lions.
Falcons lost to the Vikes. Concede the division. Jeez, I hate to say that, but Minnesota's king of the North. They're hot, 8-2. In fact, they're the number 1 seed as of today in the NFC. And if I'm not mistaken, the big game's in their barn.
Yeah. That has never happened,
No,
right?
it has not happened.
A host city has never had their team represented.
No. Been close a couple of times, but
I don't see it.
It better not happen. That's all I can say.
I don't see it.
But Seattle did win last night, so there's still a couple of teams in front of them even to think about the wild card. They will not even talk about the possibilities until they get to 10 wins, and the only way they can do that is run the table. So let's see what happens. 26-20 in overtime over the Bucs. We are live from the Stadium View right here on Holmgren Way, just down the road from Lambeau. We are brought to you by our friends at Robinson's Heating and Cooling. American Metal Roofs. Ray Farmer is here tonight. Say hi and thanks to Ray. Hey, Ray. Good to see you. Nicolay Bank, Diamonds in Gold. And, of course, from the View, where everything is happening.
Yeah, 30-cent wings, 40-cent boneless wings, 7 to 11 every single Monday through Thursday. They have happy hour 3 to close every Monday night. Tuesday to Friday, happy hours 3 to 7. They have Singo here every Wednesday, musical bingo. That's from 6 to 9. And then the Daddy D Christmas show will be in their banquet halls December 6th through the 9th. That is this Wednesday.
Wow, that's
coming
up. Here we go. It is here.
Get you in the mood.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. When we come back, more on the big Packer win over the Bucs and looking down the road. 5th quarter returns right after this timeout.
Here are Mark Daniels and Matt Z.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Packers off that win over the Bucs in their next to last home finale. That's part of the problem. 3 of the last 4 on the road, but gee, Hundley's passer rating away from home is over 100 in the win over the Bears and the game against the Steelers.
Oh, the game against the Steelers, sure.
I wonder if there's anything to that where he's just feeling a little
too much pressure.
78,000 eyes wanting me to be Aaron Rodgers, and
it's more relaxing, maybe just at ease on the road. Doesn't have the pressure.
Not that he's even thinking about that, but
no, not once the game's going. I don't think he sits on the sideline and wonders.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, what's that dude up in the 30th row thinking right now after that incompletion?
Yeah, well,
but I wonder if that does play into it for guys. I don't know.
It might.
At this level, do they feel those nerves and those jitters?
I think they still do.
Especially the QB position, I guess.
I think they still do, yeah. Ty Montgomery went on injured reserve on Saturday, so his season is done. Right. They brought up Michael Clark, the big kid wide receiver who had a real nice training camp for the Packers, but he was inactive yesterday. But even with Montgomery gone, I don't know if you recall, way back in August during the preseason, I thought Jamal Williams would be the leading rusher on this team. He's still not quite there yet, but he is closing in. But the point I want to make is the way Williams and now Erin Jones back healthy, obviously, McCarthy has that 1-2 thing that he's been craving for forever. He couldn't find a compliment to Eddie Lacy.
Right.
And Eddie got so upset about it, he ate his way out of town. No. Has he taken a snap in the last month in Seattle?
He did the P90X thing.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
Now, what was funny is every time that he had a weight goal to meet month by month, he got like an extra $5,000 or some what? Well, 50,000 wasn't it?
Yeah.
50,000.
Yeah.
But I suppose once those go away, it's.
But anyway, back to my point.
Let's talk about how fat he is. Really. Let's really hash this thing out.
I really like Williams' style. That was almost all between the tackles.
Yeah.
Against the Buccaneers yesterday. Running hard with lean. The 1-yard touchdown run. Look at it again if you watch the highlights. He's hit at the 2.
Oh, and just powers through.
His legs started churning through the linebacker and carried him into the end zone. That is a really good trait to have. And Jones has that tackle breaking ability as well between the tackles, but his quickness to the edge suddenly gives them power. I don't want to say thunder and lightning, but and that should make life easier for the downfield passing game.
Should, but I don't know. Here's my concern: is they're now establishing the running game. Williams is getting more of a role, 20-plus carries. Jones has had his days against a couple teams before his injury, 100-plus yardage games. But when Aaron comes back, will they still get those touches?
They should.
But will they? Or is it back to just let's wing it around and kind of forget about the running game till we really kind of need it?
Especially the first game back, I would think they would want to. You're not going to just throw his arm out in Carolina if and when he does return then.
But you see around the league, if you can just stick with the run, especially come in the playoffs, you can really have a dominant type team.
Hey, look who's here.
Hey, all right.
All right.
Fantastic.
Let's go. On Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
you get out of that chair.
Yeah, on
We're
Wisconsin.
bringing him into this chair. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to welcome to the
Lance,
Stadium View.
come on over this way.
You're
We'll
on this
flip-flop.
way. Yeah, we're going to get you on right away. Yeah, no green room for you. We're going Cardinal and white room for you. Former second-round draft choice of the St. Louis Rams, who spent his first 6 seasons in St. Louis, one in Los Angeles, and then signed with the Packers as a free agent this year. Back home, the Milwaukee native. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lance Kendricks to the show.
Ow! Ow!
Hi, Lance. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. Don't ask how. It's how many. That was an interesting day yesterday.
It was.
What pleased you the most, other than the final result? Just the stick-to-itiveness when things weren't quite clicking offensively there for a long stretch, or the running game, or what?
I think the ability to run the ball.
Really?
Yeah, I think, with Erin Jones getting hurt, we kind of were left with questions there. And I think Jamal did a good job of filling that void that we had for a little bit.
You guys kind of changed up the run scheme a little bit. It was more of the kind of gap stuff this week.
Right.
Talk about why you went to kind of that rather than some of the, the combo blocks or the power plays. But it was a concertedly different approach to the run game this week.
Yeah, it was. We felt like there were bigger guys that couldn't move as well. So we tried to attack that a little bit and try to get them going side to side and hit the holes where we could, and it was really effective.
You didn't shy away from Gerald McCoy, who's really good.
He is really good.
He is really good. But just the way Jamal is seizing this opportunity, we're just talking about it as you were walking in. His running style, I like. Really, he's long, physical, finishes forward.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because at practice it's hard to see how he runs the ball because a guy that's a physical downhill runner, he's not going to make guys miss in practice, so it's not going to look all pretty.
Yeah, you guys don't practice in pads. What do you got? You going to have any more padded practices?
I hope not. But.
You hope not. Yeah, I think you only get 3 over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it hard to stay sharp when you're not banging, or are you fine with that? You look like you're fine with it.
I think we're good, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
We've been running the ball pretty good the last couple of weeks without pads. So
yes, you have. Yeah, Buck 99 yesterday, a season high. That is for sure. What's it like being back in Wisconsin, part of this team?
It's good. It's good to be home. Good to be back here in the, I guess, not so cold weather, but,
it's ridiculous, 40 degrees.
Yeah, right now in December is awesome.
Well, tomorrow it's right. It's supposed to break. Are we going to?
Yeah, and then Wednesday, I think, down in the teens.
Yeah, down in the 20s or teens. Yeah, well, it's coming. It's coming. What led you to come back? Even though you knew Martellus Bennett was going to be a part of this mix, Richard Rodgers was here, certainly Aaron Rodgers is here, but what convinced you that this would be a good fit?
I think the combination of being able to play at home and as well as play for a winning team, a championship team, and try to bring another one home hopefully soon. That was kind of my ambition to want to come back.
Your Rams are 9-3, man. You're old Rams.
I left at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You got your money
so
there.
You're the
you're
reason.
fine.
Yeah,
you're
they've
fine.
been struggling.
You got
moving.
paid there.
Yeah, no question about that. What'd you think of the whole Marty, for lack of a better term, experiment this year? And the way that ended, it was so weird.
It was weird. I think it worked out for him in the end. He ended up going back to where he came from, and he also – I guess he needed shoulder surgery, so he got his shoulder surgery. So
I guess Doc McKenzie was right. Did you ever get a sense that he didn't really want to be here, feel like he belonged here, or be a part of this? Or
I think he's in his 10th year. I think he was getting that itch to retire, and maybe he kind of spoke a little too soon on it.
Yeah, the bye week, remember?
Yeah. I think he was home for so long. He just kind of felt a little homesick, and he got home, he got comfortable, and other than that, I don't know what happened, but I know once you get into that 10-year range, you kind of contemplate retiring. So
you're closing fast. You're closing fast.
Closing fast.
Yeah. Has it stressed the room at all? the room. It's two guys, you and Richard.
No, not at all. It actually works out because I get a lot more playing time. Me and Richard, we split a lot of the time on the field, so it works out.
Has it taken anything out of the playbook? You're still running 2 tight end sets a lot.
No,
not as much.
Not really. No, I don't think it has. I think it simplifies things a little bit more. It enables us to run with 2 tight ends and run with one when needed.
And you had just 4 games in a quarter, with Aaron and Brett Hundley. How do you think he's kind of handled this situation? How have you guys tried to rally around him and get him through this stretch?
I think he's building confidence as the weeks go on. Obviously, last week at Pittsburgh, he really put on a decent show.
Yeah.
And coming home, it was an up and down game, but we were able to rally with being able to run the ball. So I think that was big for us. But as long as we got the run game going, I think it's a little better. It takes a lot of pressure off of Brett to make plays.
That's true. And as Mike McCarthy and Edgar Bennett said late this afternoon, all right, granted, it was miserable. I think he went from 8:32 of the second quarter to 4:30 in the fourth without a first down. He had those 3 3-and-outs to start the second half. But down 20-17, he drives for a field goal late, drives for the only touchdown in overtime when it mattered most. The kid made some plays. Not necessarily with his arm, but he made some plays.
Well, he made some on his feet, too.
Yeah, and ran this offense and got the W.
Yep.
Got to be big for him.
It is. I think, again, that's another confidence boost for him. And going into Cleveland next week, I think it's going to be another boost of confidence for him. Greg Williams is a tough D coordinator with Cleveland. I was with him.
You were, yeah.
My
Spent
last
some
few
time
years with the Browns. So he has a very exotic defense, a really good defense. So that's going to be a challenge for us, but hopefully we can get the W there.
All right, yeah, 1 down, 4 to go. That's the plan. Z?
Where were you for the Big Ten championship game?
Ouch.
I was in a hotel room at the Oneida, at the
Radisson?
Yeah.
You guys got a hole up there.
Who were you watching with? Just you, or was it?
I was in my room by myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had a curfew, so we had to sit in our room, but I was yelling at the TV the whole time.
How many things got thrown at the wall? Any holes in the hotel room that have to be patched?
It was frustrating, man. They played a good game. I always know we're a second half team. That's how the Badgers are. So I had confidence that they would come back, but I was hoping they just pulled it out with that last drive.
How close do you still follow the Badgers throughout the college season? Are you still watching every week? Following?
I watch every week. If I don't watch, I follow on ESPN app or something.
Well, Paul Chris was your OC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the whole
run.
I have a good relationship with those guys.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're still tight. We were talking all last week leading up to the game. I was really worried about Ohio State's speed, playmaking ability, especially in offense, that the Badgers haven't quite seen anything like that. Michigan's a big slugging team. Iowa, same way. Yeah, they won some impressive games, but there's a difference when you have that kind of athleticism on the playmaking.
It's hard to simulate that in practice. So it was tough for them. They gave up 2 big ones and two big touchdowns. But I'm proud of the way they played all season.
Yeah, it's been great. It really has been great. 12-1 off to the Orange Bowl in Miami they go.
Yeah.
And you were really one of the long line of tight ends that have come out of Owen Daniels and now Troy Fumagalli. That's a good spot.
It is
for this position.
It is, and O-line and tight ends, they just keep bringing them out. So
big kids from Wisconsin. Yeah. Lance Kendricks, our guest tonight. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, visit more with the Packer tight end, and we'll look for a hot play of the day. Don't go away. 5th quarter returns after this timeout. All right, welcome back. Packers beat the Bucs 26-20. Yeah, the Battle of the Bays. I miss those games in the old NFC North with Tampa Bay. Whether it was John McKay. I'll never forget this one. Packers were playing at the old Lambeau, and it was a chain-link fence. They had to roll across to block the fans from crossing under the concourse, and Buccaneers got slaughtered again, and McKay was walking up, and I went to his press conference that day, and he goes, I don't know if they're caging me in or caging them out as he tried to escape Lambeau Field. There was the Snow Bowl, obviously, in 1985. I tweeted about that yesterday. So I missed that rivalry, Favre and Sapp and the gang, but it was nice to beat them again. They're 15-1 against Tampa at home since 1990, so bring them on. All right, Lance Kendricks, our guest, signing away. Got a couple more minutes here. We got time to do our hot play of the day. You know how it works. Our friends from Robinson's Heating and Cooling will give you a prize tonight if you guess the hot play of the day. You'll also be qualified for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season, pair of indoor club seats, and a ticket to the party before the game as the Packers close out the regular season against the Vikings. So we just need a couple of more qualifiers. That's it. So let's see if we can't find a hot one tonight.
What's your guess?
Dean Lowry's touchdown.
Dean Lowry's touchdown was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But
lots of fun.
It was lots of fun, but that
not
wasn't
fun enough for you to be a winner.
One. Sorry.
Ooh,
good catch. I love that play, but not Dean Lowry.
If they would have had a celebration, I think we would have gone with that one.
Yeah. Make the leap, Dean. Come on. All right, next in line.
What's your guess?
How about Erin Jones' tiebreaker touchdown?
Yeah. I mean, it won the game. The hot play was the one and only carry from Erin Jones that not only fooled the Buccaneers, but it fooled Wayne Larrivee.
Hundley under center, he takes, hands it off to Williams. Off the right side, has to bounce to the left, to the outside. Makes the turn, 20, 15, 10, 5, to the
last one.
For the touchdown! And the Packers have won! Make that Jones on the touchdown. Jones bouncing outside on the touchdown run. The Packers score a 26-20.
Can we catch you at the next break?
Hadn't been in the
Thank
game
you.
in the second half. They stick him in for that play, and he scores, and the Packers win with 5:59 to go in overtime.
I've called a lot of games, high school, college, and pro, and there's nothing worse than calling it wrong. But yeah, it wasn't Jamal Williams. It was Erin Jones who was in for his one and only carry, and he said afterwards the play side hole was clogged up, but he found an escape route pretty quickly.
Most of the time, people just run up behind the lineman and try to push for what they can, but I seen how they all crashed in, and that was the open lane. I just took it.
He took it all the way to the house for the Packers win. Who's our winner?
Roxanne.
Roxanne, you're in. We'll do a Coldplay a little bit later on. Lance Kendricks, our guest tonight. Were you on the field for that one?
Yeah.
They closed so hard.
They did.
They did all day.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if Jamal can make that cut and get to speed as quickly as Erin can.
I think they're two different backs. I think Jamal's the downhill back, and then Aaron's more of the elusive side-to-side kind of shifty guy. So
very side-to-side.
I think they thought that he was going to hit the A gap like Jamal would have, but it was Erin, and he didn't. So he saw the whole.
And I'm not sure the linebacker was, but as soon as he saw him bounce, he just flails, and you know.
Yeah,
he knew it's all over. Yeah. But here's a kid that MCL sprain just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
In Chicago. Have you ever had any kind of ligament and try to come back?
One time. It's tough. It's really tough.
And to have that burst and that quick turnaround.
Late in the game too.
And sitting around all day. Mm-hmm. Amazing play for Erin Jones. So yeah, I'm encouraged about having those two guys healthy down the stretch, and maybe number 12
just
getting
maybe.
back for week number 13 or 14. No, it'd be 15, right? He practiced on Saturday. How'd he look?
He looked like Erin. He looked good.
Amazing to think that he's, 7 weeks removed now since the collarbone break? And to throw it the way he's throwing it?
He looks like he's throwing the ball just fine.
Now, is there a trap to get too excited about the possibility of, all right, hey, when he's back, here we go, but he's not back yet, and there's plenty of work to do.
I think it's just something to look forward to, you know. I mean, while he's not here, we just got to keep winning. Let's keep winning and try to make this playoff run.
That would be something. But this team has a way. I mean, it was 5-6 last year when he kind of uttered the run the table thing. This team knows how to do it in December. That is for sure. But one more big one coming. 11 catches, $151 and a touchdown. I think you scored the first game, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was opening day.
Yep.
Against Seattle.
Yep.
And Richard really hasn't been involved. It's a process with Brett to get this passing game down, and it's still kind of evolving, isn't it?
It is, and you know, when you're a young quarterback, you got to go with what you know, and you got to go with what works for you, and that's Tay, Devontae, And getting the ball in Cobb's hands obviously is a big part of it, and then trying to find Jordy.
That's what Mike was saying today, too, and Edgar for that matter. We've got to get the perimeter a little more involved than just the quick little two-man screens. You know, that's just not going to get it done. Encouraged to at least hit some shots in Pittsburgh, to know they can be made.
Yeah, they can be. And, we're going to hit the practice field tomorrow or Wednesday. Rather,
Yeah, Wednesday.
And we'll keep working. We'll keep chipping away at it.
Keep going after it, that's for sure.
Does frustration creep in for you at all when you see only 11 catches? You thought maybe you were going to get some more touches, more looks?
Yeah, but a little bit. I think it does with any receiver.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we can win the game by running the ball, that's by no means let's run the ball. You know, however it works for that game. Every game is different, and I know when Erin comes back, hopefully soon, hopefully I'll get more touches. But until then, if we just got to pound the ball, let's pound the ball.
I agree.
Growing up in Milwaukee, were you a big Packers fan? Was that your team?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was. It obviously it was some fun times. I remember the Super Bowl in '96, and I think my senior year of college was the last Super Bowl. So
2010 season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that was. Yep.
All right.
Was that a dream for you as a kid? Did you ever think, hey, someday I want to play Lambeau
I
for you?
think so. I was telling one of the equipment guys earlier today, I remember doing the punt, pass, and kick thing here when I was like 13 or something.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember seeing Brett Favre walk down the tunnel and being like, wow, he's huge.
How did you do in that punt, pass, and kick competition?
I think I won.
Yeah?
Yeah, I ended up going to the national one in Kansas City or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never got out of the local qualifier. I did win the St. Agnes School punt, pass, and kick. So I started small. Really? And it's my favorite.
Listen to you. Really? No, don't doubt me.
Don't doubt me.
did.
I got a little trophy about this way, pedestal with a football on top. 1968, maybe? That's a long time ago. But I was proud of it. But I wanted to be Andy Reid. Remember that video? We see that all the time with Andy, this gigantic 13-year-old kid winning punt, pass, and kick. But now Milwaukee King has a high school football team still, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. They're still going strong. Numbers are good. Everything else like that.
Yeah.
So in the city conference, what was that like growing up?
It was actually pretty tough. There was obviously Vincent. That's where DeAndre Levy went to college or high school.
Okay.
So they're in Riverside. I think Brooks, that plays for the Eagles, the guard. He went to Riverside. So we had a little bit of competition there.
Yeah. So you're producing some kids out of that's cool out of the city, because now it's all the Germantowns, the Arrowheads, the Burbs have got the big-time programs. No match for Kimberly, of course.
You a big Brewers guy, Bucks guy? You're just all state?
Both, yeah. Brewers, I used to go a lot. I used to go to County Stadium a lot growing up. And Bucks game, same. I used to go to Bradley Center a lot. Ray Allen, Big Dog, Glenn Robinson, and